Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the SJRC Z5 GPS drone. This drone has altitude hold, GPS, return to home, point of interest, waypoints, active track, hand gesture selfie photos, and a 15-minute smart battery. So let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this rectangular white box showing the drone clearly there in the front. This is the Z5 GPS folding drone and it's from SJRC, and this is for ages 14 plus. And right here at the bottom there's a listing of some of its main features such as GPS return to home, point of interest, waypoints, active track, hand gesture selfies, 15-minute smart battery, foldable, so on and so forth. So plenty of neat features packed into this drone. Here on the lower side you can see it says SJRC, and here on this other side you can see the transmitter, which is also foldable, and you could see it with a mobile device and a listing of its app and QR codes. So very nice transmitter there. And right here we can see its specs, such as flight time, flight distance and range, in-flight characteristics and features. So very nice listing of features there. Here in the back it's pretty plain. It just says Z5 GPS folding drone, and it has some warnings. So that's about it. So now let's open up the box and see what we've got inside here. So right away here in the center within the foam you can see the drone and transmitter. Very nice, very good packaging there. And so now let's take a look at the transmitter here. It has some foam guards there to protect the joysticks, and it is a very well built transmitter, so very nice. And right here is the drone already folded and compact. You can see the camera there in the front and its LED lights around the sides. So very nice look here, similar to a Mavic or something like that. And as you can see, it folds out, and this one you have to fold out a certain way. You have to either start with the front or rear legs depending if you're folding or unfolding. But once you get it all folded out like that, it looks very nice. So we'll set it right there. Now there's some stuff here at the bottom. Right here we have its spare propellers in a box. Very nice. But there are no propeller guards, just the spare propellers, 4 of them. Here we have the micro USB charge cable for either the battery or transmitter. And within this little box we have the manual and booklets. So that's about it. Now let's organize all this and take a last look at the contents of the box. Now, taking a last look at the contents of the box, we have the drone itself. It's 7.4 volt, 1200 milliamp lithium ion smart battery. We have 4 folding spare propellers, a set of screws for those propellers, a screwdriver, a folding transmitter that has a built-in 3.7 volt 300 milliamp lithium ion battery, its micro USB charge cable, and the instruction manuals. So that's essentially the contents of the box. Now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now, taking a closer look at the drone, this is a very interesting looking drone that somewhat resembles something like a DJI Mavic, as it is foldable. And right here at the top, it's from SJRC, as you can see there with its logo. And at the top is its smart battery, and right here it says quadcopter. And you can see the LEDs from the smart battery that simply snaps on top of the drone. Now this is a brushed motor quadcopter. And right here at the front you can see its 90-degree remote tilting 1080p HD camera that shoots at 20 frames per second. And it is a 5G Wi-Fi streaming camera. As you can see right here, it says 5G. So it has good range. And right here at the bottom there's a peculiar little circle that Looks like it could have been an optical flow sensor, but it's not. It's just a part of the design there. And here is the SD card slot that holds up to a 32 gig SD card. So you can record onboard footage right there. Now let's take a closer look here at the smart battery. It has these two latches that you just simply pull, and you can easily remove the battery. And this is a proprietary 7.4 volt 1200 milliamp lithium ion battery, and it simply activates by keeping the on off button pressed there, and you can see the amount of voltage there with its LEDs. And you can easily charge this on the side through its micro USB port, and use the included micro USB cable and simply charge that. And it does take anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours to fully charge it, and it does provide the quadcopter with around a 15-minute flight time. So that's pretty good. And the included micro USB cable also charges the transmitter as well. And the battery just simply snaps on top of the drone there, so very easy to work with. And activating the battery there activates the drone, and you can see it's a very well lit quadcopter with LEDs on each side, very bright and colorful LEDs. So very good there. And looking at how it folds, it might be a little tricky depending on whether you're folding or unfolding the drone, as you have to pay attention to the direction in which the legs are folding in or out. As you can see, you have to fully extend them so that the arms go through, and you also have to align the propellers as so. But once it's fully folded in, you can see how compact it is here. You can see the camera there in the front, the bottom portion of it, and the LEDs on each side. So very cool, very sleek. And you can just simply fold it back out there by just fully extending the legs or arms. And it looks very sleek, very interesting folding drone, kind of like a Zerotech Hesper or a similar kind of drone like a Mavic or something to that effect. And right here at the bottom you could see it has small plastic landing legs. So it has a total of 3, 1 in the front and 2 in the back. So a very unique way of standing it on a flat surface. And the propellers are foldable, as you can see here, and they're not self-tightening or twist off propellers like a DJI. You do have to screw and unscrew them on. It does say Z5 quadcopter right here on the leg. So a very neat, interesting design here, and very well laid out. So now let's take a closer look at its transmitter. Now, taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a very comfortable DJI-like transmitter, and it charges right here on the side through the micro USB port, since there's a built-in 3.7 volt 300 milliamp lithium ion battery. So no AA or AAA batteries in here. It does have these foldable arms at the bottom, and the antennas also fold out, although they do appear to be for aesthetic purposes. And it does have the folding mobile device clip right there at the top. And it is a sturdy, well-built controller. So very nice here from SJRC. Now going over the controls a bit, we have the left throttle stick, followed by the right rudder stick. And then we have our headless mode button. And if you keep it pressed, you can disable or enable GPS mode. And right here at the top right, we have our auto takeoff, auto land button. And then right over here, we have our one key return or return to home button. And right here is our on off button. So we simply push the button to turn it on and move the left stick up and down to bind. Right here is our LED indicator for voltage. Right here we have several icons showing different statuses, like if we're in headless mode, or if we're taking video, or the speed, or if we're in GPS mode with home lock, so on and so forth. Right here you can turn on and off the GPS, as you can see here. And right up here at the top we have our scroll wheels. This one right here tilts the camera remotely, and this one right here increases or decreases the speed of the drone. So you can have different speeds there. And then we also have the photo and video buttons right here at the top. Right there's the photo button, and then right here on this side we have the video button. And as you're recording video, you will hear beeps letting you know that you are recording, and you can hear beeps also when you're tilting the camera. So overall, a very feature-rich transmitter that provides the quadcopter with up to a 600-meter range of control. So a very well-built, comfortable transmitter. So now let's take a closer look at setting the quadcopter up for its first time flight and its app. Now, setting the drone up for its first time flight is very straightforward. Once you've fully charged the drone's battery and inserted it into the drone and have fully charged the transmitter, you first start out by activating the drone and turning it on right here at the top and keeping the button pressed until all the lights are on. At that point, you want to turn on the transmitter's on-off button, and then you got to bind it by moving the left stick up and down. At that point, you should be bound. If you want to calibrate the drone's gyros, even though they are automatically calibrated on the initial startup, all you have to do is move both sticks up and out like so, and you should see the rapid blinking lights. Make sure that this is done at the ground level while the drone is flat and not moving. Next, you should calibrate the drone's GPS compass, and you do that by moving both sticks up and in like so, and you should see the rapid pink lights blinking. Make sure to rotate the drone about 3 times clockwise on its flat horizontal axis until a couple of the lights go solid, as you can see there. Next, you want to face the drone downwards and spin it about 3 times clockwise on its vertical axis until the lights change colors like so. At that point, you simply wait for the lights to go solid, indicating a full GPS lock. And usually that's pretty quick, given that the quadcopter has a dual GPS or GLONASS. So once it has a full lock, you can go ahead and connect to the drone's Wi-Fi and you can launch its app. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Now, once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for an entry that says SJRC Pro, and it'll have a serial number at the end like that. So you connect to SJRC Pro, and initially there is no default Wi-Fi password or anything like that. So you just simply connect to that, and once you're connected, go ahead and launch this app right here, SJRC Pro, and it'll have this icon right here, and it's in both the iOS and Android app stores. So you go ahead and launch this app right here, and you'll be greeted with this screen right here, and there's a drop-down selection where you can pick from several of the new line of drones from SJRC, but you would connect to this one right here, which is the Z5 GPS. And right down here there are several settings and options, such as this quick start guide or quick start help that you can simply scroll through. And back at the main menu, there's an option here to learn to fly that'll show you tutorial videos on how to operate the drone. And right here you have your photo and video gallery. So if you enter in there, you can see all the photos and videos you've taken with the quadcopter. Here is a support or help guide on using the app, but most importantly, you want to go to controls here, and this is the main area where you would control the quadcopter. And right away you can see we have a live feed with the drone here. As you can see, very clear, very low latency, and the transmission distance of the FPV is pretty far, anywhere from 200 to 400 meters, and very good transmission range because of the 5G Wi-Fi capabilities of the quadcopter. Now, going over the app a bit, this button right here will take you back to the main menu. This one will enable all the special features of the drone. Although you cannot fully fly the drone using the app, you can enable active track, for instance, where the drone will follow your image, or you can enable the follow me mode where the drone will simply follow you, or you could activate the return to home or the auto takeoff, or activate the auto landing with these icons. And down below we have some telemetry such as the distance, height, speed, and vertical speed, and the transmitter voltage and the quadcopter voltage. And this button right here will allow for voice commands so that the quadcopter will fly those commands. Then we have the video button, the photo button, and the gesture photo button as well. And we have the satellite strength and settings. And right here in the settings, you can enable or disable the beginner mode, and you can adjust certain flight distances and heights, such as the full flight distance of 600 meters, or the flight altitude maximum, or the return to home height. So you can adjust all those parameters right there. And then right over here we have our waypoint mode, where you can set your waypoints and add them and delete them. Here we have our photo and video album. Here we have our flight record of all the logs of the flights. Here we have our VR mode, where we can fly this FPV, splitting the screen. This will flip the video feed if necessary. And so that's essentially it for the app. Plenty of controls and features packed in, as you can see here. Overall, a very good package, very easy to work with. The only real con is that the quality of the camera could be a little better. At 20 frames per second, even if you are pulling footage directly from the SD card, it still has some lag in it, and it could have been better. But other than that, a very convenient drone that has very nice flight characteristics, very good range, and overall a good solid quadcopter. So now let's take it up for a flight and see how she performs.